guys, I thought I'd do another video. I never do one. I always do 15 and then not one for a fucking long time. Got a lot of philosophy and shit I want to go over. But I want to do one about call centers with where I work. I work for a mobility company. And I wanted to do a video from the customer's perspective just so you can see how shitty it is sometimes. And then I want to do one from my perspective so you can see how shitty the customers can be sometimes. So this one here, I guess we'll do first, is the one from the customer's perspective. So there's a lot of unfair shit that goes on, and I don't mean anybody's trying to fuck anybody over, but for instance, at our locations where you go pick up phones, the reps know a lot about phones. They pretty much know dick about price plans and about how the billing works and stuff. But I don't get mad at them for that, because I had to work in my job for about 6 months to grasp everything, because it is so fucking complicated to work here. So, but they'll talk out of their ass. Sometimes they'll tell them promos that don't exist anymore, or you'll get an activation fee. They say, oh yeah, just call the billing department, they'll waive it. It's like, why would they charge you $35 and then just waive it? You have to work that out beforehand. You can't just call up and say whatever. So I get a lot of different calls about a lot of different things. Oh, this rep told me this. We got a lot of guys that are telling the customer what they want to hear, not leaving any notes. And then the customer calls back when he said, no, he was going to waive all that for me. And then I have to go with the notes here in front of me, which is nothing. So I know we get a lot of guys who don't do their job. They transfer customers to the wrong queues. There's a bunch of lazy fucks. I actually do my job, The one thing I do in my life that I do right is I actually work, and I make sure if I can do something to fix, I'll even go out of my way. I've done that many times. I get actually in trouble sometimes because I'll be on a long call doing something that's I can do, but it's not really in my jurisdiction, but I'll do it anyway because I want it done right. And I'll get in trouble for it because, you should have sent that off to whatever department. I'm like, well, no, I knew I could handle it. And he's like, well, but your talk time went up, that kind of thing, right? So, I mean, I'm not saying I've never fucked up. I've fucked up a lot. But, I mean, that just happens. And then you'll get customers that are frustrated because, something will happen, like their phone will break, and then they're out of warranty, and it fucking seems like some of these phones, and BlackBerry, I'm going to point my finger at you especially. Everybody who has a BlackBerry seems to like it, but for whatever reason, BlackBerries almost seem like they're built to last about a year just after the warranty expires and then die. I don't know why. I get a lot more calls about broken BlackBerries than other things. So you get customers call up that say, the phone's broken. What do I do? Like, it's out of warranty. I have no options. I have to pay a monthly plan because I'm on contract. What can you do for me? And I have to go and look and see their eligibility and go, nothing. You'd have to get yourself another phone. So it does suck, but I'm going to go into why I don't give a shit on my other video. But yeah, it's like on a customer level. Sometimes they'll call up, and I know there's other companies out there that you'll fight with them to get a credit back. Like, once they got your money, they do not give it up. At least I can say with us, where I work, we're pretty flexible with that. If I look in the notes and I can obviously see something should have happened but didn't, we're pretty forgiving for that. If you fuck up, like if you call a lot of long distance, you call us up, anybody can get some help once in a while. It's pretty decent for that. I mean, we also have a statistic for that, though, so we can't just go waiving everything all the time like I used to do when I first started there, because you get, customers that think, okay, I'm going to keep calling back every month if I go over, and no, that's not how it works. You have a set plan, and if you don't go over, you don't get billed. So right now, I mean, I hate the way plans work because I don't talk on the cell phone at all. I really don't use it as a phone because I don't like talking on the phone. I find it fucking just annoying. Like, I do it all day at work, which doesn't bother me. That doesn't mean when I come home I don't want to talk on the phone. I just don't like talking on the phone all the time. I've never liked it. I'll talk for about 5 minutes, and okay, can you come get me? Great, fine, bye. That's all I want to do. I don't really want to fucking sit and chit-chat. But I mean, I use it, mostly for texting, going on the internet, that kind of thing. And I got a really sweet plan through work. I pretty much unlimited everything except long distance. You just do whatever I want, which is fucking great. And a lot of the plans that we had, a lot of companies had before, were pretty shitty. If you knew how to use them properly, which nobody knows, or you knew what your bill date was and all the ins and outs, which is not complicated, then you could, really not pay anything extra ever. But our plans are set up so complicated, and they're getting better, of course, and I'll go into that in a second. And the way the timing of the billing, the way it works, if you're on a spending cap, that makes it even more complicated. Like, just when things are billed, when they get processed, when credits come along, it's mine, and our bills are printed so fucking stupid that a customer will call in and say, what does this mean? I'm like, oh, that's just a proration for your plan. They're like, what does proration mean? Like, well, okay, when you started with us, the day you start is not your bill date. The system needs 2 days to set it up. So it charges you for those 2 days in between, and then that 2 days later, that's your bill date. And then we charge a month in advance. And some people don't get that concept. Sorry, I'm driving, so that's why I'm flickering my phone everywhere. Anyway, it is kind of dumb, but that means that we're not billing you for the 2 days. Here's your bill for 2 days, and then next month, here's your, we just do the 2 days, then a month in advance, just so it's out of the way. And some people don't like that, and they think we're ripping them off. No, we're not. We're just making sure the first month is taken care of, so we don't have to chase after you, kind of thing. So it works out pretty good. The bills are complicated, though. You look at a bill, it'll show a breakdown of things you don't even fucking need to know. It'll show your free minutes. Like, it does show, okay, you've used 2,000 minutes the whole month, right? And I use that as a point, because someone will say, oh, how did I go for my minutes? I'm like, well, you've talked on the phone for 2,000 minutes, and some of it was before your free time, so what do you want? You say you don't really use it. 2,000 minutes is a lot of use, kind of thing, right? But anyway, the bills are printed very complicated, because it will show you, after 6 or whatever your plan is, what your free time is. It'll show you how many minutes you used after 6, which makes no fucking difference, because you don't need to know that. You don't need to know how many free minutes you used. Who fucking cares? So, I mean, you can use that in some senses, because you'll have like an unlimited incoming minutes option, and it'll show how many minutes you're using on that, specifically for incoming, just so you can see if it's worth it for you or not. That kind of thing is useful, but our bills need to be fucking revamped, and about half of the information that's on there can be taken out completely. And customers call up and they're like, how many minutes do I have left? I have to fucking open like 4 tools to see how many minutes they've used, so I can tell them, you've used 120 out of your 200. Like, shouldn't it just be a little box in the upper right-hand corner that says minutes of the month / remaining? That's it. You don't need anything fucking complicated. And there's another thing that's annoying. Not only do you have to work there for months and months and months to get a sense of how the billing works, our tools, I made a list of things because I was pissed off. There's a lot of things I wasn't doing. I was forgetting. I don't, and I will tell this to everybody, I don't use empathy at work. I have no empathy. I got a lady who was in the middle of crying because she just got her cell phone stolen, a brand new Galaxy S3. She had it like 2 weeks ago stolen. I'm like, oh, do you want me to mark it down as suspended so it can't be used? I just have no sympathy. I never apologize unless I personally fuck up. Like, oh shit, sorry, I should have done this faster way. That guy, like, if it's my personal fuck up, I'll apologize for it. If it's anybody else's, I do not. And believe it or not, people don't want to fucking hear empathy. I'm so sorry that happened. No, I'm not. Shit happens to everybody. You can't apologize for everything that happens in the fucking world, especially if you had absolutely nothing to do with it. To me, if you apologize for something that you had nothing to do with, it's condescending. Oh, I'm so sorry that happened to you. Like, why? Why are you sorry? Because it's my job and I have to be. So I never apologize for anything. And believe it or not, I'll let my customers just talk and talk and talk. I don't interrupt them. I just let them go if they're ranting. And they always say, okay, no, I'm not mad at you. I'm just mad at the company. I'm like, oh, no problem. By the end, though, they're happy with me because I sat and listened to them, and I didn't say, oh, I'm so sorry that I keep cutting them off and apologizing for things that are irrelevant, because to me it's a completely flawed fucking argument. It doesn't make sense. I can't put myself, like, I mean, I do have empathy for people I know. If, my best friend calls me, Liam, I just got my leg blown off. Oh, wow, that sucks. But pretty much when I say stuff like that, I'm like Dexter. I'm not a sociopath or whatever, but he just says, when he says, oh, that sucks, he's basically saying what he knows society wants him to say. He's not saying what he actually feels, because he doesn't feel anything like that, and neither do I. I have to fake it. I was born this way. I'm not a sociopath, because I do feel certain things, but I just do not feel empathy for. Anyway, our tools are very complicated. I made a fucking list of all the tools we need. We have 17 different fucking tools. A lot of them have different passwords. Passwords have to be changed. The fucking procedures that I have to do to just take one fucking call. I had a page and a half full of things I had to know. And on top of that, there were things that are completely irrelevant. They're completely outdated tools. They're to change certain things, like to change somebody's account type from like a corporate account to a consumer account, has like 3 major steps. You gotta change their price plan to something that's flexible between those two, change their account type, then change their plan. It's a fucking nightmare. Like, it does not need to be that complicated. And I'm getting all my metrics down now. I'm meeting all my goals, like talk time and all that shit down. But it took me 6 months to learn the system well enough. And maybe I'm retarded, I don't know. But there's 17 fucking tools we have to use to do our jobs. And some of them you'd use like once a month, or not even at all. Some of them I've never even used. Like, it's just bullshit. Everything needs to be simplified. And they have this thing in Quebec called Law 60. Law 60 states on a contract all the numbers as far as here's what you pay for your phone per month are huge. They show you big letters. They cut down all the legalese. It's very easy to understand. And when you go to cancel, you have a maximum amount that you have to pay. So you don't ever have to pay your whole amount back, right? Which is nice, and that's how it should be. Fucking everybody should have these rights. I find cell phone companies have been chicken hawking fucking consumers for a very long time. I work for one, and I will fucking straight up say it. I'm not saying, mine is any worse than anybody else's, but all the cell phone companies have been not coming up with new plans very often because they're all saying, well, why don't we just all charge everybody and agree not to change anything? And then recently somebody came up with unlimited plans for unlimited daytime, limited long distance, and then everybody else came up with them too. They had to. And now things are getting better, finally. Like in this day and age, for you to have to sit there and count your minutes, which you can't do, which your phone doesn't really tell you, and the human brain is not set up to keep track of things like how much data you've used. I get people going over their data in minutes all the fucking time because it's like trying to keep track of how many bites of food you've had this month. You have no fucking idea. You can't keep track of that. Your brain is not designed for that shit. Unless you're fucking Rain Man. No. So I do understand why customers get pissed off, because I'll get somebody call up that is so fucking mad, they want to cancel. I'll look at their account, look through the notes, I won't say anything, and then all of a sudden I'll go, I figured out what the fucking problem is, and I'll fix it for them, and then I'll fucking help them out. And then you wouldn't believe, and I'm not just tooting my own horn, how many times people say, can I get you personally because you're the only one that's ever actually done your fucking job. I look at my Fizzbacks, which show all the different, someone will get a text saying, do you want to rate your rep, and then rate your solution. And it's really not fair, because say you call me up because you just broke your phone and I can't give you a new one. You'll rate me shit because I couldn't give you what you wanted. But that's not what the rating is. The rating is, was your rep polite? Was he smart? Did he do his job properly? Yes. Even if I can't help you, that's a yes. Did you like your resolution? Yes or no? No. That kind of thing. But someone will just give me a 1 because I couldn't magically pull a fucking brand new iPhone 5 out of my ass and give it to them because they ran it over with their fucking car. Like, what do you want? So anyway, there's a lot of things that, and I'll probably think of more later, that consumers have been getting really fucked over cell phones for a very long time. And to me, it's they pretty much distract you with, here's how your brand new shiny sparkly phone, and you're so excited to play with the thing. You don't read your fucking contract. You don't know what you got for a plan. You don't know when your bill date is. You don't even know how many minutes you got in your fucking plan. You're just so excited to play with your new phone, and they want it that way because then they get you at the door quick, and then if you have problems you call us later, and that's not really a good way to do it. What they should do is take your phone away from you and say, okay, I need your attention for 5 fucking minutes. That's it, just 5 minutes. Because the guys at the stores are salesmen first and foremost, and they almost always fuck something up. Like, I'm not saying they're all bad, but generally if you have a problem with our company, it's because of the reps at the store not doing their job, lying to you, or fucking, just talking out their ass because they don't know the real answer, blah, blah. So there are a lot of things that need to be switched on our end. And now I'm going to do one on how things piss me off on my end, because customers